Welcome back, everybody. It is time to tee it up for the 8th annual King for a Day Golf Tournament, a signature charity tournament hosted by our friends from the Range for Hope Foundation. This special day brings together golfers from all walks of life to support our mission of empowering veterans and their families through the healing power of golf. Here with more is Executive Director of the Range for Hope Foundation, Mr. Alvin King. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having us.
I'm good, really good. Okay, we've got the 8th annual King for a Day coming up. This is a local favorite here. Give us the details. What do we need to know?
So like we go back 8 years, and so this has kind of become a thing. You know, like when you start to think about it, you're like, wow, like eight years. You know, because oh wow, 8th annual.
Yeah. Did this feel different than previous years? Do you think it felt bigger than last year?
I think, yeah. I mean, it's getting that way where it's like it's a routine now, but it's also like, you know, there's so many other people starting to contact us and like, hey, how do we get involved? How do we do this? Or, you know, there's a lot of different opportunities. And so it's been interesting to kind of see how this has grown from where year one, I was like texting a bunch of my buddies and I was like, please come.
Yeah.
Let's make this a thing. And now it's like, oh yeah, we're going to do this thing. And, you know, we've been blessed over, you know, after the first year for the next 7 years to sell out annually and just kind of really, so much so that a couple years back, we started a second tournament. And so now we do 2 tournaments, one in the spring, one in the fall. So, you know, because there's nothing else to do besides all the other little things that Range for Hope does.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, too busy is a good problem to have.
Yes,
isn't it?
In theory.
In theory,
Yeah,
in theory. You're like,
theory.
maybe not for me specifically,
specifically
but I'm
for me.
tired, but the foundation's doing well.
No, the foundation's doing well.
So 8 years, you know, from when you started it, has the initial like vision for it and mission for it stayed the same, or do you think it's kind of evolved as the years have gone by?
Oh yeah, no, it's totally evolved. And so initially when I first was retiring from the Army, I was like, hey, I'm going to do this charity event and I'm going to donate to other foundations. And then I did that for the first couple years of the tournament. And then in year 3, I was like, wow, what do you guys give? Like, because year 1, I was a bunch of friends, and we donated about $1,000. And then year 2 was about $7,500. Year 3 was close to $15,000. And I was like, wow. I was like, what are you guys doing with this money? And they're like, well, you know, and I was like,
So what could I do?
What can I do? Yeah, and so we started this organization, and the goal was to kind of bring healing, or having a holistic approach to healing through the game of golf, using that as the vehicle. And so the reality was there's not a lot of programs out there specifically for the entire family, where you can kind of all come in and do something. So whether like our range days look like a Vietnam veteran with their grandson or grandchild, or, you know, a husband and wife, a wife with their kids if somebody's in the field or deployed, or groups of young ladies or groups of young men, you know. And so it's
for everybody.
It's for everybody, and such an eclectic group of people that come out to the range.
Yeah, and you have options for every person, every shape, every size. Something else that I think is really incredible about what you guys do is that you have options. So say if I'm able-bodied and golf is really hard for me.
Yes.
It's a very hard thing to do, but you make it easy for every single person. I know you guys have like adaptable golf carts, is that right?
Yeah, adaptive. So we got into adaptive golf about, it's coming in 4 years.
Wow.
And so the reality was, you know, when we first got introduced to it, I was like amazed, just like how you just said, wow.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, this is a thing. I didn't realize what it was. And so there's people who, you know, had a variety of different abilities. And so now, you know, we actually host an all-adaptive golf tournament here because, once again, nothing else to do, which is nationally recognized. Last year we had 51 adaptive athletes from across 23 different states come here to compete, and so it's every first weekend of November. So if you're looking for something to do in November, first weekend, Saturday and Sunday is a fun event because there's a lot of these athletes who may have a limb deficiency, maybe you know, vision impaired. I mean, there's a variety of different things, but it's just, you know, they get out there and they compete just like you and I, or even better, really. So you know, and so the reality is, it's like, wow, there's all this impact. So I think the only thing, if I could for a second just tell you, like, a little heavy on the heart just thinking about this, because we have, you know, it's not only about the healing, but like we have a veteran who's going through a bad, or actually an active duty service member who's going through a bad situation. Their child was actually involved in a gun incident this weekend. And so, you know, we definitely want to send our thoughts and prayers out to that family. But that's like the reality of this, like where people are like, oh, well, you're just doing golf. And I'm like, no, like there's people, we're impacting people's lives where you know, to get that message, like, hey, not going to be able to come to do this because, you know, and I was like, that's totally fine. You know, like, what do you need? Like, how can we help?
Well, and that's the thing. It's so much more than golf.
Oh,
Golf
absolutely.
is a small, fun thing that we can do,
yeah.
but you know, it's the emotional support and the day-to-day.
Absolutely.
Well, that's incredible. Alvin, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you for
here and
having
chatting
us.
with us about this. Really incredible stuff. And guys, all of this information is going to be up on our website, and we'll be back with more in just a little bit.